Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Gamecast, episode 648. I'm morning host Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy,
What's up?
Corey Feinside,
Ahoy.
and Tony Kokonakis.
Hello.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners and viewers. We're live streaming on Twitch Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock. Please join us for the movie cast first, usually, and the Gamecast second. Yeah, this is the Gamecast, so welcome. We're on YouTube the following day if you don't make these live broadcasts, so subscribe to both channels. You get notified when we post our stuff. So
Smash that subscribe button.
That's why I subscribe, so you get the notifications of the good stuff.
I mean, everything we do is good, so, you know.
Yeah. Golden. Absolute platinum. All right. Anyways, welcome everybody. This is gonna be fun. It's a fun episode. It's been a Zelda week for me, obviously. It's gonna be like a Zelda month for me because this game, I am like so like ADHD in this game where I'm like, oh, I gotta go do this quest, and then I'm like, oh, what's over here? And then I'm like, the worst part is with this fusion thing, I'm like, what can I build? You know, so there's not only the distraction of, oh, what's over here from the first game, it's, oh, wait, what can I build too right here and then get to there faster? But then I'm like, I spend 30 minutes building a contraption and I could have just, you know what I mean? So it's been fun. The fusion idea, like, when I heard about it, it was cool. Like, it sounds cool. But when you put it in the gameplay...
It's when you play with it, then you're like,
yeah, you can't experience the fun of the super sword. Or you know what I mean? Like you can't like
the creativity that people have been demonstrating online
on social media.
Different...
It's been
oh
crazy.
My god, it's ridiculous.
Building, like, a wagon or something, just building something that you can do.
People are like creating a whole like thing.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Like mechs, basically.
Yeah. Rockets and it's like tanks and it's crazy what you can throw together here. It's
I've seen lots of penises.
You can do that.
Yep. Anything you can create, something you're going to create. People will inevitably create penises. Even cavemen did it. They found some drawings there. Cavemen were even drawing, stick figures with penises or boobs.
Like that Mythic Quest episode.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, this game it's a more polished version of Breath of the Wild, and it's got a whole bunch of the fusion part of it. Just makes it a whole new game. It's so awesome to have that. So.
Yeah, it's crazy because now they're coming out with a lot more interviews and stuff like that, where they even said that the reason they did like 2 or 3 weeks before the release, they did that like, hey, we're gonna do a 10-minute demonstration with a Numa and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, well, the marketing department got really worried because whatever metrics they use and whatever their job is, they're like, we feel like people don't really know what you mean by a lot of these game systems and stuff like that. So he's like, oh, okay, well, I'll just do a presentation on the abilities, because that was the thing. People didn't understand that the new abilities were the main core, like, driving force of the game and stuff like that. So that's why they did it, which I could totally get now, because like you see it, but until you actually are doing it in like the scenarios that you have to in the world and the shrines and stuff, it's like, oh, it's so hard to get your mind wrapped around that stuff. And You're on mute, Jim.
I'm sorry. There was a dog being yelled at in my house. It seems like so gimmicky when you watch it in the presentation, and I'm just like, but then, and that's why I didn't get like super psyched for it. But implementation is so good. You're in a sandbox world where you can almost do like whatever you want, and they make you be able to do more than whatever you want. Like, that's the best way to say it. Like, it's just unbelievable the possibilities in this game of just forget the game. It's just that side of it, the ingenuity, ingenuity,
creativity,
whatever you want to call it. It's unbelievable what they built, and I love it. I love the game.
I mean, the one thing I've been really impressed with is seeing like a puzzle or like a goal or whatever, and being like, I wonder if this is gonna work. And like most of the time, it's like, it does work. You just gotta like either do it or just gotta refine your idea a little bit and stuff like that. I mean, a good example, as I posted on Twitter last week, I think a clip where I was getting one of the Koroks to his buddy, and I'd flown him over on one of those gliders. And getting him off, I messed up, and he started rolling down this hill. He rolled all the way down this hill. It was like I don't even know, like a comedy video or something like that, where you just keep rolling. I'm just like, fuck, dude, I don't want to like drag your ass all the way back up this hill, this mountain, basically, to reunite you with with your friend. So I was like, well, I wonder if the rewind ability is going to work on him. And sure enough, it's like, yeah, let's be rewind. So I hit rewind, and I just see him go back up the hill. I'm just like, perfect. I don't have to do shit. Like, I just run back up and stuff like that. And that like just blew my mind. I was like, that is crazy. And you know, I know a hot topic recently has been like buggy games and stuff like that. And I've encountered one bug, one crash. It is ridiculous.
You post that link, right?
Yeah. They spent an entire year on just polish. They're like, we could release it, but you know, let's not have a cyberpunk fiasco.
And that's ultimately, you know, I mean, like, look, I mean, the game graphic wise may not be the most impressive thing, whatever. It looks good what they've done, but I think the most impressive thing that they've done is that polish and not expanding the scope after they've reached that point. So like that's where I think gameplay, like game development, needs to follow.
Well, right. I mean,
you need to stop at some point and just polish. Like, don't add anything more. That's it. Just make it work.
Scope creep, man. Yeah, that's the problem. It's like
that's the problem.
You don't have producers that are willing to just put their foot down and be like, hey, this is what we can no longer.
This is what we signed up for.
Yeah. So I mean, this game has done that so well.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a game where like you go through fucking ceilings, and like just the sheer fact of that, I'm just like, that sounds so insanely like prone to bugs, to be like, you're going through like the floor of this room and you're gonna pop out on the ceiling or the floor of the next thing, or like you're gonna be in a cave and you're gonna use his ability and you're gonna pop up back on the overworld, and you're not gonna crash, you're not gonna glitch. Like, it is just astounding to me. But even like the fusion system, to be like, you could fuse almost every item to something else, and like the fact that it just works, you're like, holy shit, because like I'm just expecting things to go wrong, like awry, and just be like,
and the physics, from what I've seen, like, I haven't played the game, just from the videos that people have been posting and stuff, like the physics of everything, like once you have fused stuff together, it's all just makes sense. Like it's it's not like things are going like, oh, I did this and now shit's shooting everywhere. And
that's what that's what you have to take into account, like just the world that's built, the vastness of what you can do. I don't even know how you would even make it look better with this even with more power. Like, it's
and
it's huge.
That's that's what I want to say here, because I know when they announced the $70 price tag, there was some resistance online,
right?
And they I even think, Mike, you question it, but like playing this game now is like there is no other game on the market right now that I could see justifying a $70 price tag compared to this. Like, it is just insane for what kind of content you get. And like, sure, you could be like, oh, well, the graphics aren't noticeably better than Breath of the Wild, but like the thing is, like, in terms of like gameplay, in terms of story, in terms of what you can do, like, it's night and day. It is a night and day comparison, where it makes it almost makes Breath of the Wild look like a tech demo, honestly, in hindsight. And I love that game, but like, to me, it's like a jump from like Super Mario Galaxy 1 to like 2, where it's like, oh, we had like some awesome ideas and stuff like that, but then the second time around, it's like, here's what we had in our back pocket that we just couldn't get done in time. It's like, crazy.
It's awesome. So they've done a great job. I'm enjoying the game quite a bit. That's all I've played. So
have you done,
Tony? I'm guessing I've done a couple shrines. I haven't done any of the dungeons yet.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Gotcha.
So I've done a couple shrines, and I keep getting like, I'm telling you, man, like the fusion thing, like, I'll just stop and I'll be like, okay, what can I build with the stuff they've just given me in front of me here? That happens so much, and then I'll be going towards even just going towards a shrine where you can see it. You're like, okay, I'm going there, but then you're like, oh wait, what's this? What's over here? So it just happens so much. But I do have to get over into the dungeon next. I need to experience that as well for myself.
I think I'll be happy about that.
Okay. I'm hoping. So
all of them have blown me away so far. So it's been a good time. But yeah, that's pretty much my life too, just Zelda. And it's to the point where like I want to savor it. Like there are times I'm like, I'm not gonna play Zelda today. Like, I'm just gonna like let it sit, because like again,
it a little bit.
Marinate, because like I don't want to just like binge and consume it and be like, okay, I'm done. Which is still astounding, because like, I mean, I played it for like 60 hours in like 10 days, which is still a lot. I have left it on a couple times, just been like, oh, I need to go do something, whatever. So it's not totally accurate, but like still, it's just so easy to be like, oh, I need to do this, and I need to do this, and I need to do this. And it's like, what was I even doing before these like shrines or these quests or something like that? And it's just a list, and it keeps growing and stuff like that. But it's fantastic.
Yep.
That's always, I mean, it's always good when a game can live up to its hype.
Right, and I think
and expectations, not even hype,
yeah.
but just like your
well, I mean, it
expectations
is even hype too because tying into the news, Nintendo announced in 3 days it sold 10 million units.
Yeah,
which is insane. Like, I mean, by any metric, even first party, like that's.
But don't forget, the first game was outpacing its console sales.
Yeah. First month was outselling it. But I mean, to put it in context, Breath of the Wild has sold 30 million copies on Switch in 6 years, and then Tears of the Kingdom did a third of that in 3 days. That is, at $70, like that is insane to me. Like.
It was Japan's 7th biggest launch of all time.
Yeah, and it sold 2 million copies, which it does not do. Like, I don't even think that Breath of the Wild took a while to even reach 1 million. So,
I will say that I do greatly prefer playing this on my TV than in handheld.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I played Breath of the Wild a lot, handheld. So I think I did. Yeah, I'm pretty certain I did. But for something about this game, for some reason, I just want to see the world and like. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm more comfortable playing this like on the TV and enjoying it that way. I don't know. Yeah, that's just me right now. But cool. Yeah, it's awesome. So, all right, Corey.
Well, just a little more Xenoblade. Still going through that, enjoying my time there. Oh, I did pop in for like 5 minutes. The Street Fighter.
Oh, nice.
6 demo.
Nice.
I was I didn't get to play this.
Oh, I forgot. I did play the demo on Steam too.
Good.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I was like, yep, I don't need to play anymore. I can wait until
exactly what you were hoping.
Yeah. And I will say, Mike, since we'll get into the news on this, but there is a new way to play Street Fighter. I think I even call it like new control
modern
style.
Mode. It's
modern mode.
So
because I know
it's M and C, like modern and classic.
Right. Because like I know, Mike, if I recall correctly, you said like the Hadouken input or whatever, like the Shoryuken input, where it's like down to forward and button, like is kind of
basically all those quarter circle, half circle things. Don't jive with me as a controller user my whole life.
Right, exactly. So they have what they called like Corey just said, modern controls, where I'm pretty sure it's kind of like Smash style, where it's like a direction and a like they have a dedicated special
direction
button.
And
So like you could do a fireball by holding forward and the special button, or the Shoryuken by doing like the diagonal and the special button or something like that. So
yeah,
I was surprised by that.
Doing super special moves. It's a lot of fun. It was on that way by default the first time I
got thrown off. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what am I doing? I was like, that's not what I meant.
I don't know if I can play that game that way.
But they still have the classic. But I'm just saying, like that's
it'd be weird. I don't think I can play it that way.
I mean, I would say that too, but like because Ryu and Smash Brothers plays exactly like this in a way, like I'm more open to it. I'm not saying I'm used to it, but like I can.
I think it would be interesting because like there are some characters that are just a little more complicated. You could put
the grapplers especially, absolutely. Like
exactly.
Zangief, I could never reliably do the full circle.
That would let me enjoy maybe some characters I couldn't touch before. Yeah.
Just as a fun thing, like if you're going to be competitive, sure, you want to make sure you're doing everything that you want to do at the time. But the modern, it was so once I realized that the modern controls, like, oh, this is interesting. Like I'm having a little fun here, just messing around. Cool. Because like, it doesn't change much, especially with like Ryu. Because I think Ryu and Luke were the only ones that I had available to me. Yeah. Popping in. But yeah, that was cool. I can't not wait. I was really hoping that there's more. I threw on the story mode for a bit, made a character and everything.
Nice.
And it's like, oh man, I can't wait to see what they do with this because it seems like it could be pretty cool.
I'm already sold. You guys are already sold on it too, but I'm sold. But I couldn't play it. I'm like, I knew I couldn't play it this weekend because of how busy I was with everything with work. And I was like, you know what though? It doesn't matter. I know I'm getting this game anyways. So it's like I know
exactly. Yeah, I didn't put too much time for that reason.
So, all right, Mike. What have you been playing?
I'm played more Jedi Survivor actually, even though I technically rolled credits last week. By the way, the counter on the PlayStation 5 was glitched or something. When I said I was at 14, 15 hours, I was really at 44 last week.
That's a big difference.
I mean, that's why I thought I was going crazy, but yeah. So that's about how long it took me to roll credits, and now I'm doing a bunch of endgame stuff. There's still a few more Force Tears, one more Jedi Shrine, and a few optional bosses that are total bullshit. There are a few bosses in this
They have
game.
to give you those though, because it's the replayability. You can't just
Yeah,
let them down you know.
there's a couple
I mean,
bosses that have a
how much
unblockable, no matter what one shot kill that you
like
have to dodge, but they also track very strangely, and they're bullshit.
I understand you're saying bullshit here, but you never became an Elden Lord.
Yeah, no, it's funny enough because I actually went on the Reddit for this game a little bit, and people are like, in Elden Ring or the Souls games, like you rarely actually get one shot unless you're way under leveled, but you
Yeah.
do here no matter what with these
Okay.
fucking moves. So like
Okay.
these moves are unanimously kind of broken.
I mean, there are bosses that will absolutely have one shot moves where it's like you need to get out the way, but it's very I mean, you recognize it once you die to it. You'll be like, I cannot get like when Radon jumped up into the air and comes down as a fucking meteor. You're like, yeah, I cannot get hit by that.
But no, this there's one has a sort of tracking that's hard to gauge, and it's very slow, and the other one it's almost glitched the hitbox for how it grabs you.
See, that's the thing.
It seems strange. Like, and half the time you'll be floating in midair instead of actually in their clutches. I won't say what it is, although it's you get a version of this boss very early. It's just normally if you remember in the first game, you remember Ogdo Bogdo in the first game?
That name doesn't.
It's like the toad thing that you fall down in the first level.
Okay.
You have a similar moment early in this game with a sort of classic Star Wars monster.
I know you're talking about.
You're like, I can't handle this. But once you learn one of that creature's patterns, even with his unblockable bullshit, to like dodge left last second and you're good. But then a certain challenge puts two of those things at you, and they will just do that move willy-nilly no matter what the other one's doing, and it's impossible bullshit.
Oh yeah, they definitely took a page out of the From Software. It's like, oh, you fought one boss, now fight two at the same time.
But I'm still enjoying it. I'm trying to just do all the I'm not going to get every collectible. There's so many in this game, but I am going to try to do every mission-y thing, so that includes these bosses and one more shrine I have to find. So I'm enjoying it. 60 hours now.
Impressive.
Yeah. No, it's funny because of the games I anticipated this year. I think I might have anticipated this less than
Starfield,
Like a Dragon Ishin.
Oh, Like a Dragon, yeah.
But overall, that one slightly underdelivered at my expectations, and this one's slightly above my expectations, I would say.
Nice.
Even
good.
with some of its technical problems and these cheating ass bosses. But I'm enjoying it. I hope to finish it pretty soon, and maybe I'll try Breath of the Wild soon to see if I want to play Tears of the Kingdom. We'll see.
Okay. Cool. All right, let's continue the conversation, Mike. MK1. Yeah, let's take it off with MK1. So the trailer launched, teaser trailer. Obviously, no gameplay. I wish we had some gameplay for it. I'm shocked we didn't get gameplay.
Companies do not do gameplay.
Like fucking
I'm
bullshit.
shocked we didn't. The amount of times and how soon this is coming out. How do we not get gameplay? Like
I mean, they have like their schedule, their marketing plan. Like they have their Summer Game Fest that's coming up.
Yeah, no, I get what we're gonna say, but like, I don't know. In my opinion, and this is my opinion, and I know it's probably not gonna be popular, but I'm sorry. If you're opening up pre-orders, you better show us fucking gameplay. Like that's my motto. If you're opening pre-orders, fucking show us gameplay. Show us what the actual goddamn game looks like. Don't show me a CGI trailer because no matter how cool it looks, I know that's not what I'm going to be playing at the end of the day. I'm going to watch it once and be like, cool, I'm never watching that again.
Yeah, so as the biggest Mortal Kombat fan here, I would say that the trailer did nothing for me. It did nothing. Like, I don't care. First of all, the story is a mess, and that's why they're rebooting it, but they're not. It's carrying over at the end of the. It's an in-universe reboot. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. At the end of the previous game, Liu Kang becomes this like tiger god or whatever, and you fight like the time manipulating god thing. And whatever. The story of 11 I didn't love. I liked 10 a little more.
Aftermath, right? It was Aftermath was like a story add-on, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the DLC, and at that point I was out on MK11. MK11 was okay. I liked the crypt was pretty expansive, minus the jump scares they shoved in there.
Mhm.
But I really preferred 10. But 10 was the first one where you sort of had you know, the older versions of characters. You had Cassie Cage, you had their children. Like 10 was cool, but then 11 continued the story and just sort of didn't add anything good, in my opinion. So now we just get a full story trailer here, and I don't care about the story. What I want to see is what are you going to do to, differentiate yourself from MK11?
I mean,
And
that's what it sounds like they're doing here. So it seems like what we're gonna have like assist characters in this game now, because like
yeah,
we Marvel vs. Capcom now? What?
it's gonna. It sounds like from what I've seen, it sounds like it's Marvel vs. Capcom 1 is what it sounds like.
What?
the thing about these assist characters is there's been, in Injustice 2 or even in I think 11, there's so that's part of the single player stuff is there's stuff where you do this, where you have this anyway.
But the thing is
it's
crazy.
not
Is
that
there
interesting
are like
to me.
100 characters in Mortal Kombat now. It's like it's ridiculous how many characters there are. So like you're gonna have the characters they show in the trailer, I assume. But then like, what if your favorite character is just an assist character now? It's like, well,
yeah.
Well, I mean,
because they're not
seems
gonna
like
have. You're not
it
gonna
seems
have
like
assist characters be playable characters.
seems like that's part of the whole reboot idea is you're gonna really cut back on all the characters.
And to me, that's always one of the big like downfalls to the fighting game genre. Is that if you like a particular character, you're not guaranteed. I mean, unless it's one of the main characters like Ryu or Scorpion or whatever, like you're not guaranteed that you're getting that character back in the sequel or something like that. Because
I mean, Scorpion didn't show up in 1, didn't he? Like
no, he was in 1. Scorpion.
No, I'm saying not in. I'm saying Scorpion didn't show up.
Oh yes, yeah. MK3, I think.
Some weird.
MK3,
like,
he was not. He was not in base MK3, and it's like, oh fuck this game. Like the closest was Smoke because he was the
and
robot.
then same thing with Melina. Melina didn't show up.
Melina didn't show up.
Later.
Yeah, right. Melina, yeah.
Ultimate. That was Ultimate version.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's that's the biggest downfall because like to me, I always have like a main character, and if that main character doesn't show up, I'm fucking not interested. More than likely.
Wow.
And to me, like that's why, like. Smash did such a great job with it for the most part over the years. There's some technical issues with the Ice Climbers on the 3DS, obviously, and stuff like that. And that was such a huge selling point of Ultimate was everybody's here. They literally made that a tagline in that premiere trailer. Is like, whoever your character was, they're back, and plus more and stuff like that. So for fans of because I know with Mortal Kombat, they have guest characters, and that's cool and all, but like, to my knowledge, they've not had recurring guest characters. So it's like, cool, you had like Jason or Freddy or whatever like that. You're not getting them again. It's like home.
They didn't show up again after 9. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Freddy was in 9, and then we didn't see him.
So it's like, okay, cool, but like it feels such a waste to like throw away characters like that. At least to me, I don't know. It's just
I agree, and so it's gonna be interesting to see because we already know we're gonna get some.
Yeah, the leak.
Amazon
leaks, there was these leaks. I guess I believe them. They've been fake Mortal Kombat leaks.
I mean,
before,
this is Amazon Italy, so I mean, they had a description. I would not doubt it at this point.
Yeah, and we know Van Damme is going to be a skin for Johnny Cage,
which is funny. That's
awesome.
Yes.
His origin. Yeah,
I mean, that's who he was supposed to be in the original.
Yeah,
was Van Damme.
And then
Homelander,
especially. Yeah, Homelander's
from The Boys and Omni-Man from Invincible.
I'm curious about that one. Is he going to be a big cell-shaded thing? Like, what are they going to do with that? That's going to be weird.
I mean, you can do it. Like, it's still just a comic book pet character. You can just make them.
I know, but we don't see him like realistic ever.
Yeah, both of them fit very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they're both the same character essentially.
They really are.
Yeah. That's true, but I mean, I think they'll make them. They'll 3D render him.
It also doesn't really make much sense to tear those guys apart with these normal moves, but whatever.
I forget who else was on that one. There was one more, right?
There was also Peacemaker.
Peacemaker was there. Yeah, there was one. There was 4 of them. I thought that we had, but
there was an actual MK character. I think MK original.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
I think so. Yeah, I thought.
Find this link. I'm trying to. Find
I thought I posted it.
You did. I just have to go back and find it.
No, I mean, and that's cool and all, but whatever. I want to see
It's Ermac.
Oh, Ermac.
Who's the red one?
Ermac.
Yeah, it's normally Remake.
I got it right. Holy crap, I got it right. And there's another one in the middle, lower middle, with yellow shoulder pads and a mask. Another ninja.
I thought I put the description that said all the.
Yeah.
Oh, you probably did. I was looking at the picture. Where'd you put that?
I don't know.
Picture books only for Jim.
Oh, here we go. So it's 6 playable characters: Quan Chi, Omni-Man, Ermac, Peacemaker, Takeda, and Homelander.
Oh, okay.
Takeda's,
So Takeda
one of the
is
kids.
Okay.
I think he was
Kids,
introduced.
They call him.
I think he was introduced in MKX. That one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But those are all fine. But again, what I want from this is something more akin to like a bigger single player mode that they've had in the past. They've sort of leaning that way with the Crypt. They've had that deception mode where it's the story becomes more interesting to me when you are physically traveling between realms, like in sort of a pseudo RPG where you can see the places and control it. The story as it is lately, I don't really care that much about. So
Well, that's why they were booting it.
yeah, so I don't know. I want more of that type of stuff. Like this NetherRealm has been great because of its single player options and stuff that makes it feel fleshed out more than I think other fighting series have. But it's not showing me any of that. It's just showing me more of its story stuff, which is fine. But I want to know what's there and what we've been waiting for and why it was so hush hush for so long. And when Boone is just like, "Oh, you'll see why I haven't talked about this when it's available." It's like, well, it's just a Mortal Kombat sequel at this point. Why is that special?
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. So we got
also cross-play, cross-progression.
Cross-progression.
And the leak was correct. It's no PS4, no Xbox One, but modern systems plus the Switch. So.
Yeah.
And Switch is being developed by a different company, and the PC is being developed by a different company.
Yep.
Interesting.
So when the port turns out,
everyone's just doing the console.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Other news we got this week: PlayStation Showcase happens tomorrow, so we'll be talking about that next week. Unfortunately.
Predictions.
Is there anything left?
I think we'll have a big reveal for Spider-Man 2. We'll get dated for Spider-Man 2.
I would imagine Spider-Man 2 is going to play a big role here.
I do believe.
I hope so. That it is what's left.
They confirmed in the news. They confirmed also that's a single-player game.
Yeah, but I don't buy into it because they also confirmed Miles Morales is going to be PS5 only, and
never.
I do think Naughty Dog has something for us.
Naughty Dog does, but it's going to be the fucking factions. Yeah, it's going to be factions. There's no way they're ready for anything else.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way it's going to be like if Last of Us 3 shows up in anything besides just a CGI trial, I'd be very surprised.
We're talking. I saw a couple posts about a possible director's cut of Last of Us Part 2.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
The remaster, then the remake. That's how it goes,
Mm-hmm. And then the director's cut, and then the ultimate cut, and then the. How many cuts can we make?
Yeah. So we'll see what they have. I don't know. We'll see.
I think we might even see a Wolverine teaser, honestly.
Yeah, I think
Spider-Man is so close.
That'd be due. Yeah.
So
I don't know.
The interesting is because again, by the time anyone listens to this, the showcase will have been aired and stuff like that. So you'll be privy to it. This is just our night before guesses, but Sony did release a lot of financial, numbers today and stuff like that. So I'll just go through this. This is from Wario64. Tweet 14.1 million subscribers on PS Plus Extra or Premium, so they're making that extra money because those are the higher tiers. PSVR 2 selling meager 8% over the PSVR 1 in the same period time, so it's almost at 600,000 units, which I guess it's good,
also,
but
like super expensive.
It's super expensive.
It was like almost twice as much, which is ridiculous.
But I mean, seeing how PSVR 1 shook out, if you bought that, I don't know what you're expecting, more than that. Spider-Man Remastered sold 1.5 million units on PC.
Oh, wow.
Last of Us Part 1 at 368,000. Tied into that, because this is what I said.
It's a broken game.
Yeah, this is what I said. So, exactly. Apparently they fixed it, but yeah, you should not have launched it in that state. Their slide projected the PC to be their sustaining growth beyond in 2023 and beyond. So they were forecasting by 2023 or fiscal year ending 2023. So That would be March of 2024. That's how it works. $450 million from PC, which is absurd because they started at 35 to 80, and then this year they projected 250, and they're going to almost double that.
How are they going to do that when they're not launching games day and date?
No, because there's late stuff. It's 2 years later. It's fine.
Yeah, and you're gonna
people still buy it. They've shown they still buy it 2 years later.
Yeah,
so
we're getting God of War next year. We're gonna get
Sure.
Horizon next year.
they got a bunch of stuff in the pipeline that's been out for years.
Well, so the other thing is they are forecasting a lot of live service stuff, which I know, Mike, before you're extremely wary and disappointed. And I get you.
They own Bungie now, right?
Well, I guarantee that is part of the reason why they bought Bungie, because like we talk about all these live service games, very few of them are successful, and only Bungie was on the market for purchase. So that's absolutely why they bought that.
Right. And
then they said, lastly, they're evolving the shape of first party portfolio, right? Maximizing opportunities from a varied portfolio. And they use this diagram that basically shows PS Studios, and it has around it sports, shooter, racing, RPG, platformer, and action. They want to commit to 2 or more major releases per year, covering every genre, like I just said, and a mix of single-player and live service games, balance of big franchises and new IP, which, honestly, I mean, that's what I want to see, right? Because, like, not as bad as, say, like, Microsoft, but I do feel like Sony's success on the tail end of PS3 and entirety of PS4 kind of led to, like, that, okay, well, we know what we're expecting, right? Like, and that's what the first 2 years of PS5 was. It was, God of War sequel, Horizon sequel, and then the swan song of the previous was Last of Us Part 2. And we know that, they're making another Ghost of Tsushima. But where's the new IP, right? So that's what I'm curious to see. And them dipping their toes into RPG,
But, like, they also kind of got burned on a couple new IPs that they tried.
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean,
Days Gone and...
Right.
And I would say the first sequel to what is kind of a new IP for a few of those that's good. I mean, I'm happy with that.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not complaining about that, but like, it's also at the same time, like, I don't want to get into a situation like with Microsoft, not to kick them while they're down, but like where it's like Fable, Halo, Horizon, or Horizon, where it's like cool, like that's and Gears of War, like that's it. Like those are the same. I'm sorry, Forza. Why did I say Horizon? Sorry, Forza Horizon. That's a game. That's right. Sorry, that's why I got. But it's like those same fucking franchises over and over. You just repeat that. I just don't want to see that with Sony and stuff like that.
I do think that Microsoft would kill to have that many franchises that are actually.
Oh no, absolutely. Again, I'm just saying this from a personal me perspective, because that's the thing is like I have resisted the PS5 up until now because I'm like, okay, like I will play God of War Ragnarok at some point, and I will play Horizon, Forbidden West at some point, but like I just didn't see the urgency because it's like, okay, more of the same. It's not like groundbreaking stuff like that.
Spider-Man 2's pulling you in.
Well, it's FF16 next month, and Spider-Man 2. So I'm at that perfect intersection, that rule that I have where it's like, okay, there's X many games on the system now where I'm like, okay, I could probably get my toes in this and be satisfied.
Churro had chimed in about the show tomorrow. Do you expect FF7? Probably not. 16? Probably.
I absolutely believe we're going to see one last 16 trailer before launch next month, because we're almost like exactly a month out. Actually, no, it's less than a month.
I do think we could potentially see some Final Fantasy 7 stuff.
Yeah. Not holding out hope for that. Sorry.
What I'm
not hoping for.
It's just not gonna. I don't think it's gonna happen.
What my pie into the sky thing I'm going to say here and now to will it into existence is a Bloodborne remaster.
Remaster?
Or whatever.
Sequel,
I mean, no. Look,
remaster is much more plausible.
Look, I would love for a sequel, but they're not going to give up that remaster money first, right? They're not going to do that.
Yep.
No. Sure.
Plus, I mean, From Software, I don't think has the capacity.
Is it on PC? Is it not? It's on.
I think it will be on PC and PS5. I think it will kind of like.
Bloodborne's not on PC currently.
No, right. But that's going to be one of those things.
It's just like more money for it. I mean,
exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Like, you like Elden Ring from the makers of
Elden Ring. That's exactly what I'm talking. Like this is what I said last year when Elden Ring smashed those expectations. Where they're like, holy shit, this is better than our highest expectations were for our own title. But like, I hope to God somebody up in Sony was like, holy shit, people really do like this From Software stuff these days, huh?
Oh.
Wait, we had one of those? Let's fast track that PC port, buddy, and you can advertise it from the creators of Elden Ring.
Right, seriously. And what's crazy is this is the second time this has happened because they had Demon Souls.
I know, dude. I know.
Like, go make your Dark Souls game. That's fine.
Yeah.
No, actually, guys, let's make Bloodborne for us. Like, yeah. Well, never mind. Make your Elden Ring game.
Yeah.
Wait a second. What's going on here?
Can you imagine if Elden Ring was a PS5 like console exclusive? Like, I mean, Phil Spencer would be fucking drinking himself, I think, under the table. Like, oh shit, why
seriously, like. I mean, people that loved Elden Ring and like wanted something even more challenging, like, because that like Elden Ring's accessible, right? Like,
yeah, so, absolutely. You go to any other title in the back catalog,
you become that Elden Lord.
Yes.
Now you can play Bloodborne.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to see you guys play Bloodborne. I want to see it.
The
Elden Lord. You might be an Elden Lord, but you're not a true hunter.
Yeah.
An old hunter.
I'll tell you what. I will play it if it gets remastered.
Yeah. The thing is now that you're used to the combat systems, you know the gimmick, you know like what it's about. I think it's easily much more.
I almost wonder if I would be better at a more linear From game because
I think so.
I'm sure I fucked up my build completely in Elden Ring, just not knowing what I was doing.
It could be, but again, you can. It's way easier to rebuild in Elden Ring because you're.
I used a few larval tears, but I still don't really know what I'm doing.
No, that's fine. But I mean, like Dark Souls 3, when I played through that, I fucked up my spec. And you get 3 opportunities to do it. So I was like, fuck me. And I was like, I can't fuck this up. Like,
well, it is funny how we talked about making fun of Sony for remastering Last of Us. How many freaking goddamn times? And yet Bloodborne is still sitting there.
Bloodborne would be such an easy... Because like, the thing is, I love that game. But it is so hindered by the 30 FPS of the fucking, base PS4. Because that's what it's built on. I mean, even playing on the PS4 Pro, like, it's a little bit better. I'm like, oh my God. I want to play it at 60 frames per second. I just want to have a good fucking time. Like, I platinum that game. I would fucking redo it again on PC happily, or PS5, whatever. Yeah. That's what I'm willing to exist.
No, let's do it. I'm all there for you.
All right.
That's what I was gonna say. Like maybe a Bloodborne 2, not from software, but because I was thinking they would just try to build off the name. But...
Yeah, a little more vague, but I hope because they listed RPG, I would love for them to do a new IP RPG or bring back something like Legend of Dragoon. Like I've never played that, but people love that fucking game. And that's going back to the nostalgia.
One of the top PlayStation
one.
It was like 4 discs, I think, or something like that too.
Yeah, exactly. I would love to see that again.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see tomorrow. It's 4:00 Eastern, 1 p.m.
Pacific.
Yeah. Let's see. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater remake will not be a PlayStation exclusive.
Okay. So it won't be at that show.
That's a rumor.
Or will it?
It could be.
It could be.
Oh, insider sources. Yes. Sorry, I didn't read that first part of it. So.
Yeah. I'm hearing this mostly since I have both modern consoles. The thing I care about the most is that there's more traction, more rumors about this being remade. I played this for the first time just a few years back. If you don't remember when it was on Game Pass, and I'm like, oh, this was really good for for the time, and
obviously it was advanced at the time. Nothing else is doing what Metal Gear did on PS2. It was crazy.
Some modernization would be great, but yeah, I really liked it. So I would like most of the old Metal Gear games remade now because. I think the other older ones do feel a little. They were hard for me to get into.
Mm-hmm. Even like the first game got a PC remake, which made it look pretty good. But compared to what we have nowadays, it would be really cool to get it.
And I mean, I think the goal is to do the whole series or whatever. Probably not 5. Probably 5 doesn't need it. But I think they want to start chronological. 4 was. I mean, I think 4 is a terrible. I think it's the worst one in the fucking series. But it's locked to PS3, right?
Yeah.
It never got ported because it was.
Jim. Remember we were supposed to go see a movie or something, and then I'm just gonna finish this cutscene.
Dude, that was so bad. That was so. I bought my PS3 for that game. I bought the bundle because it was one of the last ones that could play native PS2 discs or whatever. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll fucking buy this. And I remember the cutscenes were. It was like watching mini movies, like 30 to 40, 50-minute movies. I was like, I want to play.
Let me make the statement. Like the gameplay wise, I really love that game.
4?
The story wise, yeah, I like it. I really enjoyed 4.
I don't know anything about it.
I will say that like story wise, I was like, what are you throwing at me here? This doesn't make any freaking sense. Like this is terrible. What do you?
Doesn't that eventually happen in every Metal Gear game? Aside from 3,
No,
3 feels like it was the most coherent by far of any Metal Gear
3
game.
and 1 are the most coherent.
I stand by the fact that 5 would have been great if it was finished.
Well, sort of. Things got a little weird anyway, but
4 was bad and was finished, and it just had no coherent story.
But anyway, with these remakes, if it's the story and basic structure of at least 3 with, I would say 5's controls, that would be fantastic.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what I think the goal is. Because again, like I'll point to Capcom and bravo, because I used to say fuck Capcom, but like RE2 Remake was one of the best things that happened for the fucking industry, because now you have all these people out of the woodwork being like, holy shit, people will pay $60 if we just remake the fucking blueprints. Like, we have the blueprints. We know the fucking game. All we have to do is modernize the controls, hire modern voice actors, and fucking sell it. Like, that's so much cheaper than producing new IP or, a new series on the top. Like, people, were absolutely all on board for RE2 Remake, but, like, if it's like RE, spin-off, it's like, What?
There's a ton of great games out there that can be remade. Like I would love to see this more often. You're right.
Like, that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, you look at just this year. I mean, the highest rated ones before Zelda came out was Metroid Prime Remastered and Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
Those were GameCube and PS2 games.
Yeah.
So do it, you motherfuckers. There's money on the table. And then Dead Space. Yeah, Dead Space did great too.
Just Nintendo's IP, Eternal Darkness.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to see a modern Eternal.
That's not going to happen. That's never going to happen. But...
That's a perfect example of what should happen. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't see Nintendo doing that one.
I'm just saying.
You get a perfect dark game out.
Well, I mean, you got your Advance Wars, Jim, right?
Yes. Yeah, I didn't buy it yet, but yes, it's out.
No, then the answer is no. The answer is no. I said, did you get it?
Where am I playing this game at this point?
I didn't. Why did you get Jedi Survivor, Jim?
Because I'm playing that next. It's going to happen. When I get done with Zelda, and I don't even have to finish the game, like, I'm finishing the game, but when I don't have to finish the sandbox version of this, like, the creations, I'm playing Jedi Survivor.
So you're going from one instance of the genre to another.
Yes. Yes.
That didn't go so well for me when I went from Zelda to Horizon. I wish I had played another game in between.
The thing for me, though, is, like, I'm a big Star Wars fan, so I can forgive the, what I'm going to run into. I know I'm not going to like the certain gameplay parts of it the same way, like, Zelda has. Mm-hmm. So I'm enough of a Star Wars fan where I'm gonna.
I know you are. I know.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know. All right, what else? Where were we? Game wise, Metal Gear Solid 3 remade. Yeah. There's NPD from from this week, right? NPD.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's called Circana now, I think, or whatever.
What's it called?
Circana or whatever. It should be in the link. Click the link.
I went right back to you because I linked to you. I linked you exactly what I linked. So I linked your post. What? Yeah. So I don't know. I just have the list of games. State of the market. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So Jedi Survivor #1 from last from last month. Dead Island 2 #2, which is, I'll give Dead Island 2 some freaking credit then.
Absolutely. I don't think anybody had faith in that game.
Nope.
No. Not at all. It got delayed over and over again, but again, like I mentioned before, it's like that's a game that came out and actually wasn't broken. Yeah. So like I'm glad to see it make.
There's a lot of new on this list. I mean, give Resident Evil 4 some props too. I mean, last month, the month before was #1, but now it's #4 still.
People still like their zombies. Yeah. Not sure why, but
yeah. I mean, Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection #8. Microsoft with their Minecraft. Give them credit on that purchase because they don't get anything else. And #11 for that one. Mario Kart 8 #10. I mean, it's approaching GTA. I mean, I respect it way more than GTA myself, but it's approaching that.
I mean, that's 50 million units, so it's there. It's just, I mean, this is a console exclusive released, 1.5 times. It's not like GTA 5 where it was released on 5 or 6 platforms at this point. Over 10 years.
Yeah, the Final Fantasy bundle, number 14 on the list, and Advance Wars won the remake, the reboot camp was number 15. So that's impressive for that one. And look how many remakes. Again, back to this, like the Final Fantasy bundle, the Advance Wars, the Legacy Collection for Mega Man, Mario Kart 8, Resident Evil 4. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure I'm missing one on here. Last of Us is on the chart. So
yeah,
it's
I mean, the Mario movie and Last of Us show did what they wanted to do, which is what we talk about. It's to promote the IP, to get people thinking about these things, either to be like, oh, I need to pick up the new Mario, or I need to pick up the Last of Us remake or something like that, or it's to be like, wow, I really like that show, maybe I should check out that game now and stuff like that.
Or just like feed each other. That's what they do.
Infinite growth.
mean, let's see. Consumer spending on video game content, hardware, and accessories reached $4.1 billion, a 5% drop compared to a year ago. A 6% decline in April. Spending on video game content offset a 7% growth in hardware. So year to date, spending in video game content, hardware, and accessories fell 2% compared to the same period last year to $17.7 billion. So interesting. I don't know. I mean, you expect some fallback a little bit. I mean, I gotta say that the highest video game hardware spend for a month of April since 2020. So, not bad. It's pretty impressive. PS5 was best-selling hardware. Switch led. I'm sorry, hardware in dollars. Switch led units. So Switch is still selling like hotcakes. So it's still.
Yeah, well, it had the Mario bundle, again, off the Mario movie effect, and now we have the Zelda bundle, which, is going to perpetuate sales for the following month. So,
yeah.
Switch is doing good, PS5 doing good, Xbox.
Non-existent. So.
It's so... Oh, I mean, just as a topical thing to move away from MPD, because yesterday or the other day was the 10th anniversary of the Xbox One reveal. I went back and just like went through that presentation. And to anyone who says that they've missed the old style presentations, I dare you to watch this. I dare you to get through this entire 1 hour conference. It is painful. It is bad.
It was an hour and 2 minutes long. And for the first 32 minutes, there were no games. None in this presentation. None. Like, I had a lot of TV.
TV, television, television.
The first presented games were, I'm giving EA credit because they weren't really in game. They were like previews of the games coming
like
out.
Madden.
32 minutes in. It took Forza from Phil Spencer at like 37 minutes before you actually had an actual game.
Yeah.
So and then they went right back to the TV.
Yeah. And then they were like, oh, Halo, the show. It's like, what the fuck are you thinking? And then Steven Spielberg come out to talk about it.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg to come out about the fucking Halo show. And that obviously turned out like shit.
Yeah. No. It was a really bad presentation. And it's amazing that was the pivotal point in Microsoft's...
Honestly, I think Microsoft has not recovered since then.
They haven't. No. They have not recovered since then.
Especially when Phil Spencer's coming on podcast saying last generation was the worst one to lose. That's the main reason, or at least a big contributing reason why that presentation right there.
That started that presentation. They were on such a high from the 360, and like it made me remember that beginning of that presentation, how hyped I was, and then by the end where you're like, I don't know about this, where your games install and you have to like, you know what I mean? Like it's you don't own your games.
Yeah. So for those of you that, didn't know, when the Xbox One, so first of all, we heard all the bad news about the Xbox One plan before the presentation because a former Microsoft employee named Adam Orth started going off on Twitter about rumors, because the rumor was you're not going to be able to share games. And your console is going to have to connect to the internet to validate purchases. Because 10 years ago, everybody was on a war against pre-owned games. If you remember, like EA and like Warner Brothers and all these other studios were doing that. They're coming up with a $10 bullshit thing where it's like, oh, Yeah, Batman Arkham City. If you buy the game new, you get like the Catwoman section for free. But if you lent it to a friend, they have to buy that section for $10 or
whatever.
Like
a little code.
Yeah, code and because it was only good.
Yeah.
Right, it was only good for one time. So everybody was against like pre-owned game sales. So Microsoft just leaned into it. Was like, well, yeah, fuck it. Then we're not going to let people play pre-owned discs. It's validated to your system, and you have to connect to the internet. And there's even an interview. It wasn't in that presentation, but Don Matrick, Jeff Keighley, asked him, so what do you say to those people that don't have a good internet connection or don't have internet at all? And they're like, Don Matrick was like, well, we have a product for those people. It's called the Xbox 360. And Jeff was just like, so your answer to those people is to buy an Xbox 360? He's like, yes. And I'm just like, I wish Jeff would have said, like, why wouldn't they just buy a PS4 instead? Because, like, that should have been the follow-up. Been like, you don't think they'll buy a PS4?
Like, PlayStation's thing come out after also. So they had their conference after Xbox had theirs, and
they were able to adjust the conference because they did the borrowing thing. Like, how do you borrow a game on the PlayStation 4? And they just handed the disc to someone else.
It's like, this is how you share games on our system.
So they they dropped the ball massively. And
I mean, and
recovered.
For me, I never really had a PlayStation system. I mean, I did way later after their generations of PS2 and PS3. My brother mostly had, but I never that was never my main console until PS4 because I'm like, well, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
and you know, I PS4 has
the mass exodus of Xbox was big. I mean, and Call of Duty went to PlayStation.
Yeah. I mean, everybody had a fucking 360. Everybody, like, it was always like, what's your gamer tag? Like, it wasn't like, oh, what's your PSN ID? Like, nobody asked me that ever.
Nobody cared about that.
And nobody cared about that. And it's just, it's amazing how much they literally dropped the ball. So fucking, like, I think I said it last generation, like a year or two into it. I was like, Microsoft just handed Sony. Like, Sony doesn't even, like, they did everything right, but, like, it was a slaughter. It was an absolute slaughter. They just,
well, essentially, what Sony did was just like copy the 360. It's
like,
well, we make this basically a PC, and then just make it the better graphics, and then we'll just throw it out there and like let developers throw anything they want. Here's all the indie games you want. Here's all the whatever PC ports and stuff. And it's like they basically made the 360 just more powerful. Yeah,
because remember, I mean, Xbox dropped indies for the initial. Like it was crazy. Like they didn't care, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like. The Xbox Live Arcade was one of the best things that they did.
Summer Game Fest was constantly amazing.
Yeah, the Summer of Games or whatever it was called.
Yeah, Summer of Games, that's what it was. Yeah. It was like unbelievable how good that stuff was.
Geometry Wars, man.
Yes. Yeah, Geometry Wars. I think one of the Turtles ports, like the arcade ports during that summer. Castle Crashers was amazing.
That's right. It's unbelievable. 360 had such great stuff, and they never recaptured that magic. And I don't know if they will. I don't know if they will.
No, I mean, they're not going in that direction. They're not
focused
on making good games. Remember?
Phil doesn't believe it. He doesn't care.
I thought the way that was going, it would sort of alternate between generations, but doesn't look like it this time.
Nope. So, all right. Well, that's
happy anniversary, Xbox One.
Yeah. Happy anniversary, Jesus.
And you can now play Nicolas Cage in Dead by Daylight.
Oh yes, that was part of the news.
I missed that. Really? Oh, that's what I saw Nicolas Cage. Okay, that's what it was. Okay.
It was a big news day. It was like, what the fuck is going on in the world today?
Yeah.
Yeah, not Nicolas Cage being somebody else. No,
it's Nicolas Cage. And they got him to record his own line. Like they didn't hire a sound alike. It's actually Nicolas Cage, top to bottom.
I think Nicolas Cage is at that point where he's all bought in on the fact that he's a meme.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, dude, embrace it, rather than try away from it.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
Right now
he's the new age Christopher Walken.
Yeah, and right now we don't know if he's going to be a killer or like a survivor. So I think the presentations during Summer Games or whatever like that. So
okay,
it'll be interesting. I'm definitely curious.
Maybe he'll be both acting wildly differently.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap up this Gamecast, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it, guys. Once again, we're live on Twitch starting Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. So join us for the movie cast, the Gamecast. If you miss them live, we're on YouTube the following day. Subscribe to both channels to get the latest and greatest, and leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you guys. We'll see you guys soon. We are out.